Welcome back for a video a lot of people offline have asked about, and I saw somebody online had asked about it. So today we're going to do a USB boot of a Model 13, so a 13 series NAS. 13 is like 15, 13, 18, 13. This works on a 12 series, like a 15, 12 plus or 18, 13 plus. In fact, it works on any NAS that was built 2013 and earlier, not later. So 15, 15 plus or 18, 15 is not going to work. At least I haven't really tested much with those. I don't recall seeing that they had a boot readability on the USB. The older ones did, and this also is not supported by Synology. Synology doesn't talk about it, doesn't talk about recovering with it, because really there's nothing end users can do about it. So I'm going to show you how you can do it. The first thing you want to do is you want to go and buy some USB drives. Now, the problem with getting USB drives, like you can get 10 of these for $15, and you want to get the small 128 megabyte ones because that's how big your file is. If you get them bigger, it just spreads your information all over a bigger drive, so I recommend a smaller one. Now, the problem you'll run into is excuse me, the controller. Trying to find the right tool for the controller is the bear. So let me see here. Now, finding that there's websites out there like Flashboot. I like to use a lot. USB Dev is out there. They have a lot of programs for the controllers on these. So in my opinion, when you get one, I kind of always tell people, I mean, these are cheap, maybe hard to find the controller. Get a brand name like ADATA, Kingston, SanDisk. Get the smallest they got. It's most likely you're going to find the controller, the utility that you use to modify the program on the controller. And the key features you want to change on the controller are just the PID vid. You want to make it F400 for both of them. So the PID should be F400, the vid should be F400, because Synology NAS looks at F400 as the boot device. Your EDOM is set at F400 if you look at the PID vid of it. There is an F401. I haven't played much with it, but I do know it exists. So you first got to get your thumb drive. Alright, now after you get your thumb drive, you're going to head on over and try to locate, let me see, where is my picture? You're going to run Chip Genius. Now, Chip Genius tells you what you have as a controller, okay? And you can see in this particular picture, this USB device has an L-Core micro. You can see the PID vid is set at up here, 05, 8F, and 6387. We need to change those to F400. Now, some devices, these cheap Chinese ones, there's no vendor information, so we won't get the vendor ID or the product ID from it. So you can search though on the vendor ID and or vid and the product ID, the PID, online, and it'll tell you what the controller is. Some, like let me see, like SMI, I like using a lot. You have to set up the INI file the way you want it done. So, and you can see I already entered in my values. I wrote this, edited the INI file. I even gave it a name like Synology. And even in here you can determine the size of the drive you want it to be. So even if you got a 1 gig, you can make it 150 meg as a partition. So all that's done. Once you've made your USB drive, PID vid F400, We need to copy that EDOM over to the USB drive. So the video coming up is me showing you how all of this integrates. So see you on the next half of this video. Okay, so you want to boot USB. Now, I have a USB drive that I've already set up the PID vid with F400 for the PID and F400 for the vid. The EDOM, which normally goes here, I removed. Okay, so I made a copy of this. So if it's running bad, you can still usually make a copy. If it won't read too well, you know, try it multiple times, because PCs can slow it down or heat it up. Sometimes heating it up or cooling it down, you'll be able to read it. There's another video with the thumbnail that shows the pinout of these, and you can make, you know, only 4 of these we use. 2 of them are actually bridged with 5 volts, but it's like the EDOM is a USB drive. It only has 4 pins we use. Even though Synology has all these pins, most of them are just socket standoffs that hold it up. They're not even in use by the motherboard. It's just to make this an easy socket permanent feature of the motherboard. So this is a 1513. So now you get to see what it looks like when it boots. Now when I get USB drives, this is like a $2 one. It's cheap. I don't think it's gonna last long because the cheap ones don't. So I would get like a SanDisk, or, you know, well, I'll put it this way: get a brand name one, Kingston. Get the smallest one you can get, no less than 150 meg. You don't want them too big, because when they're too big, and you end up copying this over, you know, if you buy a 2 gig one, then this thing is spread out over 2 gigs of this guy. And it's hard to, you can do it, but you have to hex edit, and you're in there and you're stitching and pasting, trying to get it to the right size, which these are 128 meg up to the 13 series. So if your model ends in 10, 11, 12, 13, you got the 128 meg. After 13, they went down to the 125 meg ones, like the 1815, 1515, even the new ones, like the, you know, 1525 or 1821. All the newer ones are the smaller. Just the old ones have these big ones in them. So big by only 3 megs more. So let's see what happens when we power this on. There's LEDs in here that light up when the board receives power, so I'm gonna turn it on. Let's see, it doesn't turn on by itself. Sometimes boards turn on by themselves, but I'll turn it on. Okay, it's on. LEDs lighting. So the countdown begins. And the main thing is we want to see this flashing. This is an indication that reading is going on. So let's go up here, see what's going on. Active boot. It's still counting down. It's slow because it's still reading this thing. So there's our second device. It's still counting down. This has a different boot menu than most of the normal ones, but look at that. That's what you want to see. You want to see the OS loading in. Okay. So that's actually, and since this is a very inexpensive drive, it's slow, you know, it's cheaper. Speed here is not as critical as the EDOM, so that's why EDOMs read a lot faster. But it's still booting along, and it's still loading because we can see the flashing. So a lot of it's being dumped into memory right now to load this thing. So once it starts filling it up in memory, it's going to execute a lot of stuff. The RD file is a lot bigger, so that one takes a lot of time. It's still reading, so it's still dumping. And yeah, it's moved along. It's going to inch a while here through as it loads, but then the good thing is it's actually booting. It's actually loading. So And that's what you want to see. You want to see that it's, so this is the RD, so it's kind of a big file, but yeah, it's booting. So this is all you have to do. You basically copy this, get one of these, change the pit vid to F400 for both of them, take the copy from here, put it on here, remove this, or else two pit vid F400 is going to confuse the system, and you got yourself a NAS that's booting. So you're now seeing a USB boot of a 1513 Plus. This is good for the 1512 Plus, even the 1813 Plus or 1812 Plus, even older units like 1510s, anything that ends in 10 or 11. Anything that's actually 13. So if your model number ends in 13 or a lower number, you can do this. I haven't tried this on the 1515s yet because I don't think they have the USB boot feature. This is not a supported option for Synology. It's kind of a hidden thing. The techs actually know about this that work on these, and well, there's only a couple of us actually that know about it, me and my partner. But I posted this in Reddit, and I'll put a link in the description below of the Reddit post. So, and also the process of doing all this just before this video of setting up the USB drive. So I hope you liked the video, and I know a lot of people ask me about this, not only online when they spot this video. One person had requested it, but actually offline. There's literally dozens, at least a week, that ask, how can I USB boot my older NAS? Now you know. Now you know what to do. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.